Alright, so this is Myth of Empires. This game launched December-ish, around the beginning of December. Me and my crew started playing for really no more than a week or two. About 7 or 8 of us joined, and we recruited a half a dozen other people while we were in there. And then a couple weeks in, the makers and developers of a game called Ark Survival Evolved sued them and said that they copyrighted their source code, and the game got pulled down from Steam. So if you already own the game, you can of course still play it. It's still receiving regular updates, but nobody new from our community was able to join. So naturally, a lot more of our friends started taking interest in it, and then when they couldn't play, it kind of causes a problem, and when people want to play together, they go out and play games where they can actually do it. So because of that, we all kind of died off. And for the longest time, since Bat and I were the last two playing, I kind of just assumed that everything had fallen. But evidently, one of the recruits that we picked up in the game has been running around keeping our castle up this whole time. And apparently I just teleported into somewhere where I'm stuck, so I need to probably go to the first floor of the castle. So this game, it's made from the same engine as Ark, and you'll even notice some of the same audio sounds and the same animation and stuff like that. With that said, it's 1,000 times more polished than Ark ever was. The game has way more mechanics. It still has tile-by-tile building. Like, you can see this castle. It's built enough that it's livable in. It's far from the final vision of what I had intended to make. But yeah, it has tile by tile building, and one of my biggest frustrations about Ark and its predecessor Atlas is just that it's way too easy to destroy something versus how difficult it is to build it, which inevitably means that the game's full of just griefers that are constantly breaking into your base and destroying everything and taking all your stuff, and it kind of sucks. Whereas this game, it invests a lot more into having a whole system of guild interface where you have all these different ranks, and you not only do you have personal levels and personal skills, but then the guild also is something that levels up over time and becomes more powerful and all of that fun shit as well. And really, it's it also has the ability to, you can participate in a siege battle, kind of New World style, where you basically claim ownership of an entire server, and then you can set the tax rates and the revenues of that server. So it's pretty interesting in that regard. He's made a lot of changes. But it's also, having a base is a lot more defensible. If you've taken the time to build a stone building like this and put up stone walls and all of that, it's going to be very difficult to destroy. Especially because, the biggest way to do that is with siege equipment. And there's absolutely nothing stopping you from placing your own siege equipment on the walls of your fort, so that if anybody tries to break into it, you basically just counter siege their equipment. And unlike with Ark, where somebody could just come in and blow up all your stuff while you're offline, the fact that you have these tents, these warrior camps, basically what you can do is there are vagabonds that you can just kind of hire. They're sitting around camps, you give them some food or something, they come work for you. But then you also have, bandits, Yellow Turban Rebellion, stuff like that. You go out, you knock them out, you put them on a torture rack, and you basically torture them until they submit. And then they become your followers. The commands are not nearly as sophisticated as Mountain Blade, but, you're only...
How's it going?
Hey, what's up, man?
Uh, no, nothing much is up.
Oh, I'm actually fucking around with Myth of Empires right now, just because I haven't been able to get into Mortal for the past couple days, and I just found out that
Rip.
our castle is still standing. I assumed that it all had fallen.
Oh no. I
In any
had
event, yeah. So with this game,
what's his
it's
face build a guild thing over in the desert.
yeah. He
So
so
you keep it up.
what he did was he put a guild monument right where the T3 mats are, so he could farm up really easily, and he's been doing it this whole time. And like,
Yeah,
I
I told
thought
him to.
Bat and I were the last people in the game. I thought we'd kind of given up. Which it looks like it's
Uh,
paid. It's paid through today. Anyway, so looks like we're gonna need mats
I,
today.
I am still in Haven.
Yeah, lucky you. Don't leave.
Yeah, I'm proud.
Yep, I'm just grinding clay gifts. Which sucks.
Now, unfortunately, all my horses are long dead. And another similarity between this game and Ark is that when you log out, your character remains persistent. Like, he just kind of falls asleep on the floor wherever he's at. So the fact that I logged in naked tells me that at some point something had killed my character. So, my horses, I had so many great horses. They all died of starvation, I'm sure. As a matter of fact, there's this subordinate list here. You can see all my guys are dead too. Looks like Oxy might even still be revivable. As well as a handful of these horses. So I might be able to salvage some of these guys and really these ones are kind of trash. It looks like all my best ones are permadead now. These ones, for whatever reason, must have lasted longer to where they haven't quite hit permadeath. The horse system's really cool in this game too. Basically, every horse you have has a certain amount of life force. You can see these guys all at 0, right? They start out with 600. They can go to 700 if your skills are better. They consume life force when you breed them. The female will consume 100 for breeding, and then an additional 100 for giving birth if it gets pregnant. So you can breed a male twice as often as you can breed a female. And then, of course, you can ride them around, level them up. As your taming gets higher, you can tame higher level, more difficult horses. And, generationally, if you keep leveling up the horses and smashing them together, they'll get more powerful over time. So it's a really cool, really the mount system was what made me enjoy this game the most. But yeah, the interface, the ability to have politics in this game, like not only are there guilds, but there's also alliances, and it's a lot more robust game. Like, I love myself a sandbox, but a sandbox shouldn't be so vanilla that it's just building and
I'm gonna be able to make Great Blades soon.
oh sweet,
Okay.
killing whatever you want, right? So
I wonder if the AFK timer is actually working too.
as far as I know,
This
people
supposed to be
are always
implemented.
online. I haven't heard of anybody getting AFK kicked.
Yeah, I guess they implemented last night an AFK 5-minute timer
For
from
some
a
reason,
4-hour timer.
I happened to wake up in the middle of the night at like 3:30, 4 a.m. ish, and I actually saw that the server was down. I should have just fucking stayed awake long enough to get into the game, but instead I just logged in to the queue and went back to sleep. And obviously, when I came back, it was back to the loading screen. So I probably hit the queue and timed out, or hit the game and timed out.
Be right back.
But in any event, I was gonna log in and see if maybe I could farm up the mats to keep this going for another week, but well, I guess he does have a whole base that he built out there, so maybe if he has tools ready and able, I can help him out. I haven't even seen the new base that he built. Should probably shut all the doors too while we're at it, yeah. I mean, it does kind of look like some things are gone. I don't know if he tore them down or if they broke.
By the time I freaking get out of Haven, my skills will be maxed.
Yeah, you're gonna be so much further ahead than the rest of us.
I don't know what clay gift level were you guys at?
I don't even know, man. I didn't even look at it. I was just accumulating points. This is quite the base he built. God, this would have triggered the shit out of me if I was here for the building of this. You know, supposedly they have like new building platforms now for tree houses and stuff that like build into the side of a cliff, which means that like building the stairs down from the bases will be way easier now.